Now did you hear about Louis Miller? He disappeared, babe, after drawing out all his hard-earned cash. And now Mac Heath spends just like a sailor. Could it be our boy's done something rash? Well, stars, it has been great to see Kate Middleton with Prince William return to duties, visiting the families of 3 young girls unalived during probably the initiating incident of the racial strife in the UK. Not the people of color immigrant victims and their families, no. The other victims that, shall we say, might be more in line with royalist support, right? Certainly we have just shock and sympathy for any victims of crime, but even now we can see how William and Kate are picking and choosing what members of the UK community to support. There were several big questions about the appearance. Number one, why was it so poorly mic'd and so poorly shot? You could kind of not really see and hear very clearly. You could barely hear what Kate was saying, and the video was blurry. It seems like a choice, not an accident, right? Like, oh, let's just have it look super casual and be hard to hear and unclear. But that's very different than what we saw at Wimbledon and Trooping of the Colour with crystal clear images and video. We did see William's jaw clenching the way it always does during appearances, and that, very rudimentary media training where William has to point in videos and pictures to make it look like he's in charge when he's saying, oh, you have to take care of yourselves and look for support. William's still growing out that Prince Harry beard, and Kate's hair was voluminous and beautiful and very elaborately styled to cover the left side of her face. Why? Oh, I think we know why. William looked a little rough on this visit. People are accusing him of looking like a vicar after a 3-day bender. He did look a little rumpled, like he'd slept in his car or in his clothes or had just been woken up after a drooly nap in the back of the Range Rover. But, he made it. I'm sure he has different pressures on him. He's got all those Pakistani and Russian bot farms to manage after all. How could we possibly post to this platform without people reporting our videos to demonetize us, and then we have to always appeal and get our videos restored? 50 comments about nothing. That bot farm activity doesn't happen by itself. Someone needs to have a guiding hand. And, with work schedules being different in different parts of the world, I can see why perhaps William is looking a little harried. Even if he hasn't been making public appearances, doesn't mean he's not working. But remember when the UK press had a field day when Princess Meghan stopped wearing her engagement ring for a while? Princess Meghan often switches out her rings, so it didn't really seem like that big of a deal. But again, the toxic British media made a very big deal about that and that engagement ring and Princess Meghan. But Kate, who always wears big blue, the giant sapphire engagement ring that once belonged to Princess Diana, it seems like Kate has permanently lost access to big blue. Or did we just see it at Trooping of the Colour and Wimbledon, right? Those fancy big ticket events. Does she not wear it to smaller community, shall we say, poor people events? It feels like Big Blue was such a big part of who Kate was. Has something changed? The UK press isn't talking about that since we were subject to the Gone Girl routine for 9 months. Did her absence from public life somehow influence Kate to not wear Diana's ring anymore? I think it feels like it feels significant for Kate not to wear that ring. And the emotional pilgrimage with her husband to Southport to comfort the families of the 3 girls who lost their lives in July's knife attack tragedy is certainly overdue. But in the meantime, why are we not seeing the usual jewelry that we're used to seeing on Kate Middleton? In fact, according to one of Lord Rothermere's rags, the Daily Mail, Kate Middleton is making a sweet nod to Princess Diana in her new ring stack as she goes without her engagement band again. Princess of Wales, 42, was seen without her engagement ring in Southport, and she's opting not to wear the ornate sapphire engagement ring that once belonged to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, during recent, again, low-ticket, lower-class public events. And there haven't been that many of them. For the royals' latest outing in Southport yesterday, shimmering diamond rings were stacked on top of each other as Kate was seen next to Prince William. He's grinding his jaw, and she seemed a little bit downcast. Was it the nature of the visit, or was it hanging out with her spouse? Although her new stack does not include Princess Diana's engagement ring, she has been sure to keep a sweet nod to her mother-in-law by wearing an eternity band, right? An eternity band is not quite the same as that big expensive sapphire ring, right? What's the deal? It's an eternity band set with sapphires, the same gemstone that is in the famous ring, but these are little tiny chips, not a big old stone, which is what the Princess Diana 12-carat engagement ring has. It was worn by Kate making a congratulatory video for Team GB following their success at the Paris Olympics, and then again during her heartwarming family video released last month, the one where they were cavorting around at the beach. And it seemed modeled on several scenes from Twilight, the vampire movie franchise. Princess Diana's engagement ring boasts a 12-carat Ceylon sapphire, looted from one of the countries subject to the British Empire, surrounded by a cluster of 14 solitaire diamonds set in white gold, also looted from countries overcome by colonialism. It was designed by the crown jeweler Garrard, and inspired by the sapphire and diamond cluster brooch that was made for Prince Albert in 1840, which he went on to gift Queen Victoria as a wedding present, and she wore it as her something blue. It was reported that Diana picked out the jewel herself, while others claim that she chose it because it was the biggest and reminded her of her mother's engagement ring. At the time, it was referred to as the commoner sapphire, as the ring was available in the Garrard's catalog, meaning that anyone could have purchased it for £47,000. But Princess Diana loved her engagement ring so much that she continued to wear it after her divorce from Prince Charles in 1996. She then started wearing an emerald-cut aquamarine ring in its place, the same one that Meghan Markle wore in her second wedding look with her second wedding dress. The aquamarine ring is thought to be around £75,000 because of the size, color, and quality of the center diamond and a diamond from one of her rings was also used to make Meghan Markle's engagement ring. When Diana passed away in 1997, Prince William and Prince Harry inherited her jewelry collection, which included her engagement ring, according to American magazine Good Housekeeping. The late princess wrote, I would like you to allocate all my jewelry to the share to be held by my sons, so that their wives may, in due course, have it or use it. I leave the exact division of the jewelry to your discretion. There are rumors that, while Harry originally picked out the sapphire gem after he saw William's love for Kate Middleton, the prince exchanged the engagement ring for his mother's Cartier watch so that the Duke of Cambridge could propose to Kate. Prince William reportedly had the ring with him for 3 weeks while they were on holiday in Mount Kenya in 2010. Isn't Kenya where his ex Jekka Craig lives, and isn't that where he jetted off to when Kate was pregnant with their first child? When William announced the engagement, he said, It's my mother's engagement ring, and it's very special to me, as Kate is very special to me now as well. It was only right the two were put together. It was my way of making sure Mother didn't miss out on today and the excitement. After all, Kate was the only one who would go along with the program. After making a few alterations, Kate's ring became one of the world's most famous rings, now worth over £393,000. Arriving yesterday in Southport as the autumn afternoon sun shone, the princess did not wear the sapphire ring. Royal fans have speculated that the new eternity ring she wore instead was a gift from William to mark the next phase of her life, following the end of her cancer treatment. Kate, who has undergone several months of preventative chemotherapy after claiming cancer had been present earlier this year, looked beautiful yesterday in a berry coat dress, one of her favorite types of outfits to wear. William, in a nod to his wife, also donned a berry sweater. The mother of three donned a Whistles Margot polka dot dress from the High Street Store's 2018 collection, costing £159 at the time, and appeared to have added a pussy bow detail to the collar. Kate Middleton is out and about once again. We're thrilled to see her. She layered the frock with a structured peacoat from her favorite designer, the late Alexander McQueen. Kate accessorized with her gold fern drop earrings from Catherine Zoraida, costing £165. Kate previously donned her structured peacoat to the Earthshot Awards in Boston when she traveled to the U.S. in December 2022 to support Prince William. During the Wales' visit, the couple also spent time with dance teacher Leanne Lucas, 35, who was seriously injured as she shielded youngsters as they were attacked by a knifeman during a Taylor Swift-themed summer holiday class. Afterwards, the couple spoke to emergency responders who attended and helped on the day. Wow, I wonder if any of the students from that class got to go see Taylor Swift when William took his children without Catherine to see her in London. Prince William had promised the families and local community he would visit as soon as possible, and his visit has long been scheduled in, really, because nobody seemed to know it was happening. And it seems like Kate and William get active if and only if Princess Meghan and Princess Harry are out and about doing public work. We saw Princess Meghan at Children's Hospital LA. We've seen Prince Harry in New York, in Africa, doing so much good for the public. 9 months, 10 months into the year, so little work has been done by Kate and William that I think, they felt public pressure and embarrassed that the shall we call them the royals who escaped, are out there doing the damn thing while they're loafing and, quote, recovering. And he is growing that beard and doing God knows what, but he's awfully tan. The kind of tan you don't get in Scotland, London, Britain, none of it. And we've also heard he's got a new special friend, a blonde academic. So, like so many marriages, this could just be a, see you at work, Sam. Okay, Pete, right? Like an arrangement. And maybe her long face and his teeth grinding had to do with like, oh, we'll just get through this and then we'll be back to, she'll go to Adelaide Cottage and he'll go to Kensington Apartment 1, Anmer Hall, or wherever he's working on his tan. It's great to see them. It's great to see them out supporting some of the public, right? Not all of the public. Certainly not all of the victims of the racist riots that were going on in the UK for months, right? It is definitely a picking and choosing and not, all the kids need love, not just your favorites and not just the ones that jibe with your elitist and perhaps your own racist views, right? Everyone deserves support, empathy, and compassion, even if they are immigrants and or of color. At the time of the incident, the couple shared a personal message of shock and sympathy for those affected, and like her husband, the princess has kept a keen eye on events since, but not for the people of color. No word about that. Not for the violence against immigrants. No messages of that. No messages about that. It is understood that it was important to them to go now, 3 months later, to show some of the people, in this case the people of Southport, that they have not been forgotten, and they'll continue to stand by the community in the future. Only some of the community in 6 months from now? 9 months from now? Too much vacation and private time is necessary before they build up the strength to visit for half an hour. William and Kate's Royal Foundation made a donation to the National Police and Wellbeing Services fundraiser to help fast-track psychological and physical rehabilitation for police and ambulance personnel who were involved in the attack and the subsequent riots. Now, this is a couple that benefits from $500 million of taxpayer support. If I'm recalling correctly, their donation was something on the order of 2,500 pounds. 2,500 pounds. You couldn't bring the sapphire ring down there. Couldn't come any earlier than 3 months. Couldn't get those children and families and the dance teacher tickets to see Taylor Swift, but you and your kids were front row center. Kate couldn't even go, right? Kate could go to Wimbledon. Kate could go to Trooping of the Color, but 2,500 pounds? Correct me if I'm wrong, but not cool. It's a little something, but given that most of the year has gone by with very little public work, it would earn them a very poor rating in their performance review if I was their supervisor. What do you think, stars? I believe that they have the ability, individually and as a couple, to do more and to do better and to be a little bit less picky when it comes to whom they support among the British public. Where's Big Blue? Is it locked up in some vault? Has it been snatched back by William because he's through? Is it some kind of punishment? We all hope that this eternity band is not Diana's engagement ring picked apart and made into that tiny, even cheaper ring. But who knows, right? When people are not getting along and one person wants to be cruel to the other, sometimes that means that they will do anything, right? Throwing jewelry out the window or away in anger, hiding things and pretending that they don't know where it went. Anything is possible. And we get so little information that, all we can do is look at clues and try to draw some conclusions. But let me know what you think, stars.